Hey team, and thanks for joining me for today's teaching video. The purpose of today's session is to talk about bringing a co-host into a Zoom session. For example, if you have a substitute teacher and you want to make sure that the substitute teacher can start your Zoom session smoothly in your absence, this would be the pathway to take. Step number one is that you would get into Zoom the way that you normally get into Zoom. Here's the way that I get in. I use the desktop client. I actually double click on Zoom on my desktop in order to get in. And once I do that, I'm going to click the sign in button. After I click the sign in button, I'm going to come up here where it says sign in with SSO. You can sign in with Google. That is fine. That will also get you in. But I'm going to come up here where it says sign in with SSO. In this space, if you have never signed in this way before, you're going to choose CUSD in this space and then choose continue. When I click continue, it's going to open up my default browser, and Google Chrome is my default browser. So this is what it's going to look like. And then after this has appeared, it's going to say open Zoom meetings. I'm going to click right here one time where it says open Zoom meetings. And then voila, I am signed in. From this space, if I want to add a co-host, I'm going to click on the specific meeting that I want to modify. If your screen looks slightly different, up here there are 3 buttons to choose from. On the left it says home, right here it says meetings. Verify that you are in the meetings area. Over on the left, make sure that you choose the correct session. I'm going to choose Gate, my normal reoccurring Gate meetings, and this is where I will modify that session. I'm going to click edit one time right here. When I do that, I'm going to scoot down the screen until I get to the advanced options. I'm going to click advanced options one time. When I click advanced options, you will notice that there is a space down here where I can add alternative hosts. I am going to add 2 fictitious substitute teachers that do not exist so I can show you what the error message looks like. When I have finished typing that very first email, I'm going to press the space bar. And when I do that, it appears at first glance like everything is tidy and functioning properly. But you'll see the error message in a little while. So again, I've typed in a second email address and then I pressed the space bar. You'll notice how it turned a gray color and then there is an X to the right of it. I'm now going to click on the Save button, and you'll notice right here that I have an error message that these 2 members cannot be added to this scheduled meeting. A situation like this appears for a few reasons. Number 1, if the substitute has not upgraded their account yet, this will appear. Let me explain that a little bit later in the video. The other reason why this might appear is if you have a typo inside of that email. So please make sure that there are no typos in that email. It totally happens. I've worked with other teachers and they're like, oh no, I forgot a letter or I added a space. Oh, so just verify that everything has been typed correctly. If you know that you're typing it correctly, there is the possibility that the substitute will need to upgrade their account. I'm going to click the OK button right here for this to disappear. I'm going to click the X right here for this email to disappear. I'm going to click X for this email to disappear. And now I'm going to type an email in that I know will work so you can see what that looks like. This teacher can absolutely get in, no problems whatsoever, and then I'm going to click the Save button. When I click Save, this box will disappear. So a natural question then becomes this: how can the substitute make sure that they have an upgraded account? Here is that process. We want to make sure that they're on a Clovis Unified device, and we want to make sure that they are signing into Zoom. So the very same process that I took you through a little while ago is the very same process that the substitute is going to do. The substitute will double click on the desktop version of Zoom. The authentication screen will appear. The substitute is going to choose sign in. The substitute can either choose the long version of their Google email or sign in with SSO. This one's faster and quicker. You only have to type 4 letters. Click right here one time. Inside this region, make sure that they type CUSD and then click the continue button. If that substitute teacher signed into that computer, it will recognize them and authenticate them. Again, it's going to push you over to your preferred browser. I'm going to click Open Zoom Meetings, and how do we know that it worked? Over here, where the icon is located, click one time. You'll notice right here that it says licensed. We want to make sure that the substitute teacher is no longer functioning under a basic account. We want to make sure that they have full access to all of the premier features that come with a licensed account. And that's exactly what we want to do. If they want to test it out on their home computer, please go for it. Simply head into your preferred browser. I know it's going to work on Chrome. If they want to use Edge or Firefox or something else, feel free to try that out. That substitute teacher will head to cusd.zoom.us. Once that individual has arrived at this website, go ahead and click right here where it says sign in. And I believe that when they click sign in, it may ask them what way they would like to sign in. From this point, the substitute would choose sign in with SSO, and then they will use the long version of their email. For example, they would type in Luke Skywalker at clovisd.k12.ca.us with no spaces. When the substitute has signed in using that method, over on the right-hand side of the screen, their first letter will appear in this icon region. Click one time right there to verify that the account has been upgraded to the licensed version. During this process, if Zoom says that you are going to make a brand new account by going this route, that is okay. Yes, it's totally fine that they're making a brand new account. This will ensure that they have upgraded properly. If the substitute teacher has upgraded their account and you have gone into your Zoom meetings in order to add them as a co-host, if you are still getting an error message inside of the advanced options and it will not let you save that substitute as the co-host, this is when you reach out to the help desk. Feel free to notify the help desk that the substitute was unable to upgrade their account and you are incapable of adding them as a co-host. Then at this point, there's one more step that the help desk would need to perform in order to make sure that the substitute can be added to this space. If you are in a pickle, if something is urgent and the help desk cannot get back to you, your last option is to add your office manager, your GIS, your principal, or another staff member into this space. During your absence, any one of those individuals inside of this co-host area can start your session. Your substitute teacher can be given hosting status during that Zoom session. And then from that point forward, your substitute teacher can take over that session. So that would be your alternative. Hey team, so this is what it looks like. I'm pretending that I'm here with water bottle and Clorox. And maybe I'm the site administrator or I am the office administrator. And I have a substitute in my session. And I want to hand that off to the substitute because the teacher is absent today, but we weren't able to set up the teacher in order to be that co-host. So this is what Plan B looks like. You have whoever else is going to be in the room, okay, could be an instructional aide or what have you, and then you're going to come to one of these other participants before the children have arrived or during, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then up in the top corner of any one of those pictures, you're going to click on the ... At this point, I can then make that individual the co-host. And when I make that person the co-host, are you sure you want to make Clorox the host instead of the co-host? Then I would say yes. So either co-host or host. But if I'm the site administrator or I'm the office administrator and I'm no longer going to be here, I have other things I need to do, I'm backing away, friends. When I click yes, now Clorox is in charge. I have relinquished my ability to be the co-host. I've relinquished my ability to be the host. When I come up here, oh, I can't take that back. So, which is fine because I've got other things that I need to navigate and I need to do, and now I can leave. So Clorox, who's going to be the substitute today, has full authority to make all of those decisions in that classroom today as the substitute because the teacher is not here. You also have the capacity to hand off those responsibilities down in the participant area. So I'll be right back. Clorox gave me hosting status all over again. So I'm going to go down into the participant area. You can see how that bottom panel has changed because I went from being a participant to now being the host. The other way that you can hand off those responsibilities is if you want to come down into participants. You're going to see that participants menu appear over here. And then in this area over here, you can hover on top of a specific name. You're going to choose more, and then you can make host from this space. So if you don't want to search through and then click on the ... in the corner of any one of those pictures, your other option is to choose that item over there in that participants area. Team, thank you so much for watching today's video and have a great day.